And of course, he being a Democrat, appointed someone who he feels is left of center. The Republicans are challenging, of course, as they will any appointment that this president makes, this particular appointment. She would be the first Hispanic and only the third woman to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court if confirmed. That raises all kinds of political issues about how the Republicans challenge this appointment. Do they challenge her on the merits, or do they challenge her on something that some might consider poor form? Now, you're not going to get a U.S. Senator who has to vote on the confirmation to say the things that Rush Limbaugh and Newt Gingrich have been saying. Rush Limbaugh, yeah, he's only a radio talk show host, but he wields a lot of influence when it comes to the Republican Party. Many people view him as like the titular head of the Republican Party. We all know that. Probably the person on the top of the list who views Rush Limbaugh as the titular head of the Republican Party is Rush Limbaugh. And Newt Gingrich is trying to make a return to politics. No question that the former minority leader of the House, or majority leader of the House, wants to come back, Speaker of the House, wants to come back as a presidential candidate for the Republican Party. And he represents the right wing of the Republican Party. Both Limbaugh and Newt Gingrich, and of course all the conservative radio talk show hosts, have been calling Ms. Sotomayor a racist. A racist, or a reverse racist, because she's a minority on 2 counts. A woman, even though there are more women than men. I guess we consider women minority here in the United States, and Hispanic. Well, are these 2 guys doing the Republican Party more harm than good? Is she really a racist because of some of her rulings and some of her pronouncements? Or do you look at her in total when assessing whether she would make a good member of the Supreme Court? And if she has made public statements that some find disquieting, if she has made rulings that some may find disquieting, why not stick to the facts of those rulings and those statements? Why call her names that can only alienate minorities and women even further from the Republican Party? I think it's stupid on their part. Now, my son said, what do you mean it's stupid on the part of the Republican Party? He says that's all the Republican Party has now, is verbal diarrhea to throw at the Democrats. I don't know if that's true, but they're certainly acting in that manner. So those are the 3 issues. The continuing threat of North Korea vis-a-vis their decision to once again thumb their noses at the United States and the rest of the international community by test firing short-range missiles and the implications thereof. The president saying that we need a cybersecurity czar to protect both government and private industry against cyber attacks. Clearly a problem, but what rights might we be giving up? What entree into what we are doing, the surfing we are doing on our computers, would we be giving the federal government? Thank you, Log. It's very nice of you to interrupt. And thirdly, what the hell are the Republicans doing calling Ms. Sotomayor, Judge Sotomayor, a racist? I don't get it. Cassandra in the United Kingdom. Cassandra, welcome to News Talk Online on Paltalk.com. I said Sotomayor. I know how to pronounce her name.
Oh, sorry, I keep thinking of Sotomayor, but I apologize for that. Sotomayor. Well, I really don't know very much about that, but I'd like to comment on the first two stories that you mentioned. The first is North Korea and the danger that they pose. Of course, it's a big diversion, isn't it, North Korea, for Iran at this particular time, since Iran are coming up to their run up to their elections, and of course Ahmadinejad is very strongly working towards sort of getting re-elected, and also wishes has issued a dictate that they will not discuss nuclear capabilities of Iran with any Western nations before the elections. And I think back to the alliance that Ahmadinejad had with Kim Jong-il and in North Korea, and also with Cuba and with Venezuela. And I wonder how much one hand rubs the other hand with this. I think that it's something that we should not in any way dismiss or sort of make little of, not just because of the dangers of the the nuclear devices being set, but from the fact that these are in fact rogue nations, the alliance of the unattached, the unsung, and so I feel that that's something that we really need to keep an eye on. The other thing I wanted to comment on was this cybersecurity czar that Obama is supporting and intending to make to put into place. And he said today that cybersecurity is one of the most serious economic and security challenges that face this nation, talking about America, and that sort of it's important because you need to secure the strategic national asset, all of the military systems, the national grid, that could be compromised if they were subject to a terrorist attack. But what I would like to know is, who controls these czars? Are these czars actually under the control of Congress? Do Congress have any say in them, or are they actually controlled directly by Barack Obama? Because he is the one who is making the appointments. He's the one who is determining this, and therefore, are they actually legal? Because he is the one who's making them, or are they, as Hobnob says in the virtual auditorium, are they above the law? Thank you, Gary.
Well, about the first issue, there's no question that you and I agree on the threat that this North Korean nuclear weapons development has to the world. And you rightly add to